Welcome to episode 108 of Video Game Bullshit. Kaboom. How's it going, Tristan?
Oh, not too bad. Just been busy. Keeping
Well,
busy.
the whole time we were chatting before we started recording, there was no hiccups. So let's hope that there's no hiccups, because that's why you weren't on last week.
Yeah. Well, I'll go ahead and once I update everyone on how I've been and what I've been doing, I'll clue them in on
Jump
some of
in,
the
man.
steps I've been taking to mitigate these issues.
Well, I am drinking some tequila in a tiki mug. Really, really creepy mug with some Mio in it. So go ahead and tell your story, Tristan. I will partake in a beverage.
Okay, so I actually have a friend who used to work for Cox Communications, who is the internet service provider out here in Omaha. Well, one of them, but the one that I chose. And so I called in the big guns this time. Incidentally, I didn't even think to contact him, but like out of the blue, he calls me. I don't know, probably about a week ago, and
Yeah.
he calls me from New York. He's in the Nintendo store in New York. Um,
Ah!
yeah. So he's like buying stuff from for like Zelda and launch and all that stuff, and he thinks to call me because he knows I'm a huge video game nerd. Um, but he bought me a couple shirts, and yeah, we set up an appointment whenever he came back to for him to come over and diagnose my network issues, which turned out, um, you know, I bought all this like Cat 6 cable,
Yeah.
thinking that the my actual like existing infrastructure for my coax was good. Apparently, the coax wasn't. It didn't. It wasn't able to handle the internet that I purchased from Cox. So, I think that's what was causing the issues.
See, like that was like one of the first
All the
things I said
drops and everything.
is your wiring old? Because our wiring in our house was too old to support that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I was doing all these speed tests and I was getting like 250 down and 100 up. So I'm like, yeah, I'm good to go. No, but apparently that wiring was just causing all sorts of issues.
Oh wow.
Um, so hopefully I don't drop off. Like I have been.
Well, you're not as
Yeah, like
muddy, and it's good to see your pretty St.
good.
Tristan beard in full high definition today.
Yeah, it's gonna get a little bit more majestic. I think I'm gonna grow it out like a little bit.
Oh really? Yeah, I had a full like half white beard going on, and it started to get itchy, so I definitely shaved it off a couple days ago. Couldn't handle it.
Yeah, no, I get that.
Yeah, my leave beard. I don't have a DD214 yet, so not quite.
Hmm.
Not quite there yet.
Yeah, I got that DD214, and just like every other retiree in the military, you got to see what your facial hair actually looks like because you're not allowed to grow it for like the 20 years you're in or however long you end up being in.
Yeah, I mean, I'm on a nice little like month of leave, so it's been fun. So been
Hmm.
enjoying myself with allowing a little bit of facial hair and all that, and then I'm like, I'm itchy. I got itchy.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It gets to a point, and then you're just like, I can't stand it. But
Yeah,
yeah, I got past that point. I don't know. Eventually.
point of no return. It's gone.
Hmm.
Yeah, so so moving gate, like getting all of that ready. I was actually telling Tristan before the recording, they're coming to pick up my truck on Thursday. So tomorrow, because we're recording today on a Tuesday, we're gonna start recording on Sundays in the future. But right now we're live and it's on Tuesday. Tomorrow my kiosk, which I'm recording on, goes bye bye. So it's going into storage tomorrow. So it's gonna be sad.
Sad
I
day.
have to do everything you can do with the truck tomorrow. So like, there's a few little things we got to do tomorrow to get it ready. I have to drive a half a tank off of it because it has to be under a quarter tank. So
Mm.
I have to do that too. But and then I've also been doing my running and walking and dog walking. And I'm over 75 miles and going
Good
into week
stuff,
3.
man.
So today took a long break from running to do Tears, fun Zelda, which we'll talk about later. But I ended up taking the doggins for like a little bit over a 3 mile walk after I took my break from Tears of the Kingdom. So yeah, it's definitely fun to get out there. Yesterday I got over 5 miles in. Went and did some stuff where I got some miles in too. So it's been pretty good. What else have you been up to, Tristan?
Well, aside from the whole network thing, because Jeff said that his Switch kiosk is going away, so I'm going to have to take over the streaming responsibilities, and that wasn't going to be possible if we were getting booted from our stream, all of us getting booted from our stream every 5 minutes.
Yeah, no.
So far so good. We'll just keep our fingers crossed this entire time, and hopefully it stays stable. If that's the case, then we're gonna have no issues going forward.
Well, I mean, alternately, I tested it with Coffin last week, and you can get on your cell phone and we can record Skype call.
Yeah,
If we
true.
have to.
Yeah, if push comes to shove, for sure.
Yeah, because I mean that's what I'm gonna have to do for a while if we can't make the Discord thing work, because this requires a little bit of art to get all the little fun, fancy stuff done. But
Yeah.
if it works, it works, and we'll be going forward so we can continue bullshitting for a while, talking it's gonna be Tears of the Kingdom world for a while.
Oh, absolutely. Oh my gosh, yeah, and we'll get into that and why.
Let's see. So, over the last week, I went in because I scheduled last week's. So we recorded over the weekend, Coffin and I. So I actually was out of town. I visited Josh and Sheena, which there are partners with Premium. They handle all the shipping. So I went to the shipping warehouse. I saw the wall of Tristan books, and the wall.
Yeah, we need to sell those.
And the wall of Pigeon Devs and a wall like behind, and it's just the deluxes because they're huge actually. Ironically, the standards are about out, so that's interesting. Very interesting.
Wow.
But yeah, we have a lot of different games that are coming in. Got to check out the Switch Collector Volume 2 Part 2s. Those look great, and the manual turned out amazing. So I got to see those in person. And then we started assembling ore bodies, because we have a second printing of ore body that we have in hand, and we're assembling them so that way we can ship them out and put them up for sale. We had distributors and local game stores that wanted to get copies, and it's been getting scalped online. But it's been getting scalped online. So essentially, we made another small print run of them, like standards, not the limiteds. We made another small print run of standards, and we basically were drinking tequila and assembling NES cartridges. So that was fun. And then also went through one of our upcoming games. We're helping them with some physical items too. So we went over that and all the details. And we're going back and forth with them on physical print items. It's ridiculously fun. It was a good time too. We went and... where did we? We went to a sushi place out there because they're up in North Carolina. I found a new route to go there.
Known for their sushi, yeah?
Huh? What's up?
I said known for their sushi.
I mean,
North
near the coast.
Carolina. No, go ahead. I'm just being facetious.
But anyways, instead of going and winding through the mountains this time like I did last time, where my daughter and I got sick, this time I took like a roundabout way, and it was just highways. It was chill. So, much more chill area for the drive, and it was great seeing them. And we did s'mores at night too on the second night, so that was cool.
Nice.
Yep.
Yeah, that's one facility I want to go and see at some point as well. Although I don't know what's going to take me to North Carolina. I'm a little bit far away. Although you were too, so.
I mean, I'm only a couple hours from me right now. I'm about to be really far away.
Yeah, it's true.
About to be really far away. The other thing is I loaded up my truck with a lot of premium edition games and books and stuff, so I unloaded all those at the warehouse, so that way I don't have anything. And then I got home for a day, not even, and then we left on Friday to Atlanta to hang out with my brother-in-law and sister-in-law, and my nephew and niece are in town from Milwaukee. So hung out with them, drank a lot of tequila. That was fun. Went to medieval times, which I've not been to since
Nice.
I was a kid. That was ridiculous.
Did your knight win?
No, 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 definitely not.
No.
My daughter was enjoying it though. She had a little friend next door that she made friends with, like another girl, and they were just like cheering the whole time, like and booing the other knights.
Nice.
Pretty funny. And then after that, then the next day, Sunday, which was a couple days ago, went to Six Flags and went on all the roller coasters. And it was hot as hell. It was like 90 degrees out, and hardly anybody was there. So it's pretty much like free reign.
Yeah, that's the best. Nothing worse than going to state fair or something like that, and you're just like shoulder to shoulder with people the entire time and waiting in line hours and hours. Kind of miserable.
Yeah, ridiculousness. And that's about it now. I mean, returning the truck. My Jeep is already in Hawaii. So
Wow.
it's there, like, because I put a little air tag in it, so I can see that it's in Hawaii. So it
Very
beat
cool.
us by a couple weeks. So essentially, after this, the house is sold. So
Oh, cool. I hadn't heard.
yeah,
I was wondering.
yeah, house is sold. Essentially, we're just gonna close. We gotta do closing, and that's it. Get the paperwork. They move in a couple weeks after we leave, so should be pretty easy after that, hopefully. And I start going to Hawaii, and I'm down in the islands.
Good stuff, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, you should have a blast out there. I think I've already asked you this, but I can't remember your answer. Have you already been to Hawaii at any point?
Never even visited.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'll have a blast.
So my wife did some research, and one thing that I mentioned before is that my daughter and I are going to be surfing. We're gonna learn how to surf. We're gonna get lessons, and she had a choice, between karate or surfing. And if she quits surfing, she has to go back to karate. Well, my wife did some research. Apparently, TNC Surf Designs, the company Town and Country, still makes
Yeah.
surfboards. So I'm going to get a TNC Town and Country surfboard that looks like the one from the NES game.
That's sick. That's really cool.
And I'm gonna learn how to surf on it. And after I get my practice in and I can actually surf, I'm going to get get a board from them, which they're in.
You should take it one step further and actually dress up in a gorilla suit and surf.
Dress up in a gorilla suit, or it was the cat wearing the suit.
Yeah, there you go.
Do the cat. I did see a pause in your video, so there's the first hiccup of the day.
Okay. Well,
It's
so
a
far it
sign.
hasn't booted me, at
It
least.
hasn't booted you. But yeah, I'll wear the cat suit, full suit, because the cat was
Nice.
wearing a full suit, whereas the gorilla was just wearing swim trunks. So.
No, that's right. That's right.
There's and then there's always the Tiki Man. That was the surfing Tiki Man.
Mm-hmm.
Love the Tiki Man. But yeah, I'm embracing the Tiki culture, the Polynesian culture, and been doing that forever. So it's gonna be me collecting Tiki crap and video games.
Yes.
Yeah. Let's see. What else? What else have you been up to?
I can't remember if I actually said it on stream or if it was when we were off, but I purchased a few kiosks. Jeff said that he's about to have his Switch kiosk put away. A friend of ours, an acquaintance of yours, a friend of mine, he actually bought a farm, but the basement it's huge. However, it's leaking, so he can't move all the stuff over there without damaging the stuff basically. So he sold off his entire kiosk collection. and I was like creeping on this Facebook page where a lot of people sell that kind of stuff, and I saw that he was selling them. I'm like, dude, I want this, I want this, I want this. Let's work out a trade or a deal or something like that. So I ended up getting an Amiibo kiosk, an Xbox 360 kiosk, and a Switch kiosk from him,
Hmm.
which are now downstairs. But holy hell, were they heavy!
It's awesome though. This
Especially
new
that
kiosk.
Switch kiosk. I know you know that.
Oh yeah, this Switch kiosk is a damn nightmare, and I gotta figure out how to get it into the back of my truck, and I'm gonna have to lay it on its back
Oh my gosh,
on a
dude.
wheelie and drive slow. I don't even have ratchet
Yeah.
straps.
Oh boy.
Yeah,
Yeah, it should be an adventure.
yeah, it'll be fun. I'm gonna take the TV off, obviously, and everything, but
Yeah.
eventually I want to
But
get into
other
PlayStation.
than getting my my game room kind of set up, my parents, who I haven't seen in person in almost 10 years, are actually coming out to visit myself and my brother who lives in Lincoln, Nebraska, and they've this will be the first time seeing for them seeing my new house.
Oh,
So I'm just kind of getting like the entire basement in my setup like cleaned up and perfected, just presentable for them. Um,
cool.
just having a little bit of fun,
Oh yeah, yeah. It's interesting when you haven't seen people in a long time, and
especially your own family,
yeah. Yeah, the one thing we always liked was when people come to visit, it forces us to like clean more thoroughly than our normal cleaning. So it's
Oh,
like
big time. Yeah,
we
yeah,
go
yeah.
around and it actually makes it look really nice because obviously complacency, we all get it, and we're like hanging out and just doing our thing, and then now it's like, oh shit, people are coming over.
Yeah,
Super funny though, man. God.
yeah. But aside from like cleaning up, playing our bullshit homework, and
Mm-hmm.
finishing up manuals for Premium Edition, that's been my week this week.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Um, let's see. So one thing that I did before, this is all before Zelda BZ. Um, I actually found something when I was at Josh Yoshina's online. Apparently, somebody made a coin ops build for the Steam Deck, coin ops Legends, and
Huh.
essentially coin ops is what I put on my original Xbox that I had, and it literally comes with a whole package, has everything pre-installed, including all the artwork, all the pieces, and then it like is plug and play. And somebody made a build for the deck. I wanted to just challenge myself, see if I could get it to run. Cleared up some space on the deck, deleting some games I'm not going to play. And Legends 4 is coming out soon, but I installed Legends 3. And it's about 20 gigs or so. It was all janky and messed up, and I had to do troubleshooting. When I installed it, I had taken the zip file and unzipped it on my PC and then moved everything over with my FTP. I should have unzipped it on the Steam Deck because then all the write permissions were wrong when I got it to the deck. So I had to like manually go and make sure everything's executable just in case. Um,
Yikes.
yeah, it took a while to troubleshoot, but then I figured it out. It's primarily all arcade stuff, and then there's some small versions that are like console stuff, like Zelda and Gunstar Heroes and some other stuff like that. Some classics.
Hmm.
But it's cool. It's tailored. It works. The one thing I like though with the deck, so if you play it in a handheld mode where you're playing in like gamer mode, which is when you just boot it up, it's in gamer mode, which is big picture mode on PC. When you play it like that, you can go and download custom control schemes. And so somebody created a custom control scheme for CoinOps Legends 3 where you go in and you can use the track pads on the Steam Deck as a ball. So I can play Centipede with the trackpad, moving it around, and it's much
There
more
you go.
accurate than
Yeah.
using. Yeah, so I haven't tried it, but I was thinking, man, Arkanoid might be like perfect too. That'd be awesome. Adjust the sensitivity and just be like moving back and forth. Um, it's pretty good. I do like it. The actual analog sticks aren't too bad either playing Centipede, so I don't know which I prefer yet, but it's pretty cool. Pretty cool to be able to see them all and be able to just play all the classic arcade stuff with one and done, one shot go. So might be good for some future bullshit homework where we could just play like an arcade game or something. But yeah.
Yeah, for sure. So this coin op build, does it play MAME? I mean, does it have a MAME emulator?
Yeah, it's all through MAME. I think all the consoles might be loaded through MAME too.
Hmm.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Okay.
Yeah, because when I was tinkering around, I had to tinker around to all the files, and it said like MAME SNES and MAME Genesis and all that stuff when it was all the config files. But the it's like a website, Arcade Punks, that has a repository of a lot of stuff with all the information there. It shows what all the features are, and then you can go to like torrents and stuff from there, wherever.
Gotcha.
Yeah, everything's included though, so we can't like share a link in any of the descriptions because there are ROMs in it.
Yeah.
But it's pretty awesome. It doesn't have any of the later arcade or later consoles. Like there's no disc-based stuff. All that does work natively on Steam Deck. The disc-based stuff, you can download them and load them through MU-Deck, which is another way to do it. Which is still pretty damn easy. It's drag and drop, and then you can download all the artwork automatically. So it's still pretty damn easy. I just wanted to see what coin ops look like because it was a classic that I played, and we had episode on coin ops back in the day in video game bullshit with Kyle. So I wanted to do like a little like, let me see if I can get this shit to work on deck and see if it lives up. And the thing is, the damn the whole UI is like smooth and clean and everything like moves around. You can switch it to arcade mode.
Yeah, dude, that's
so cool. Dude, it's
yeah,
awesome.
that was one of the coolest things about Coin Op, and I'm not sure if it's the same team that did the XBMC, the Xbox Media Center.
It is.
But yeah, the UI has always been so user friendly and just so polished. Like there's just no alternative that's any better for like running emulation. A whole bunch of emulators. The only other thing that comes to mind is modern console right now, the Polymega. But even the Polymega took a lot of cues from XBMC and CoinOp and built it into their own UI. So it's been it's been worked on and polished like over all these years, and yeah, it's just such an awesome thing to use. It's so user friendly, but again, you're running ROMs, and we talked about that. It's kind of a divisive thing, but oh yeah, so anytime I hear someone say that they have a trackball ability on MAME, I have to recommend a game that you may or may not have heard of. It's this arcade game called The Irritating Maze. Have you ever played that?
Of course. That's a classic.
Okay, good. Yeah, I love that game. It's an SNK game. I'm like, we actually had it in our bowling alley whenever I was growing up, and it's such a unique cabinet. It's got a track ball, and basically you're like guiding this metal pin through this like maze of metal rails that are electrified.
Yeah.
And it's like moving pieces. So like, you'll like move around like clock hands that are like chasing you, and you have to like avoid hitting any sort of obstacle or you get shocked. But when you get shocked in the game, its strobe light actually like blinds you from the cabinet, and like these fans turn on and blow in your face. It's
amazing.
Really unique.
Yeah, that was one that there is a version for the Neo Geo AES where somebody fan modded it so you could use a controller with it. So there's a controller mod for home. That was one of the games that I never bought the aftermarket version of yet, like for my Neo Geo collection.
I know, I would love to have it. I love that game.
Yeah. Really cool. I think it's very similar to what they released on Game Boy Advance on Switch Online. They released a version. It's a Kuro pin or something, but it's basically Irritating Maze.
Okay. Yeah, and it also exists on PlayStation 1 called Irritating Stick. Same premise.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I mean, that's a really fun one. The other thing that I like about the track thing is, so there's 2 tracks on the Steam Deck. On the right track, if you put your thumb on there, it actually brings up a menu and it allows you to save state and load state and end game and go into the MAME options. It's like a little wheel, and so you can feel it
Nice.
tactile on your thumb. So that's a really cool little like bonus option that they
Oh,
added.
that's cool.
Yeah, yeah, it was a really fun one, man. But yeah, so the coin ops is cool. Is there anything else in the news that we need to chat about before we jump into bullshit homework?
There's actually some news that's a good segue into our bullshit homework.
Okay.
And that's how the ball got dropped on the pre-orders. Did you hear about this?
On Trinity Trigger or on Zelda?
Oh, on Zelda. I'm sorry. Yeah, I should have specified.
Okay, yeah, because Zelda's we're gonna talk about after our bullshit homework.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a little bit of a lag, by the way. I can tell, um, but that's okay.
Bummer.
So obviously we can talk about like the Switch emulation scene and Zelda Tears of the Kingdom being emulated already and all that stuff because we're tracking that, of course. Um, However,
Yeah.
did you see the trailer for Double Dragon: Rise of the Dragons?
I did not watch it yet. I hear that people are really excited about it. How it goes to like beat 'em ups? It's Coffin. GI Gamer 1981. Like he's huge into beat 'em ups, so of course I had to like ask him about it first. Um, he said that it doesn't. I'm just going by his impression. I haven't even seen it yet, but he said that it doesn't look any better than Double Dragon Neon. I mean, you're a huge Double Dragon guy, so like, what's your take on it?
So
There,
your internet paused like every 2 seconds when you did that whole talk. So that would be a
did.
fun one to decipher and edit. Essentially, yeah, I do love my Double Dragons. It's a great freaking franchise. I do think it looks cool as shit. I think that they're trying to do more of a River City Girls 2 mentality behind it for the Double Dragon series. I don't compare it to like a Double Dragon Neon or Double Dragon 4 because I mean they're just doing. It's been like 10 years, man. Like they might as well have more. So if it's the same and a sequel, that's cool. If it's a brand new thing, which is exactly what it is, that's pretty awesome. And it looks cool because you can play as like Marion too in there and stuff. So it should be very interesting. Should be very very interesting. Um, but yeah, so
Yeah, I'm always for more beat 'em ups for sure. I mean,
yeah, it should be cool. Um, One other thing that I saw was a tweet or a message from Phil Spencer saying that the Xbox may be done in 2023. What do you think about that?
yeah, and coming from Phil Spencer, the person who's supposed to be all like roses about his own product, I think it speaks volumes. And we've been saying it since the Xbox One lost that generation, but I really see Xbox going the way of Sega and just being a producer of digital content rather than
Games.
a hardware manufacturer. Because I really don't think there's any coming back now. I don't see any angle that they could come back in because Nintendo has um, their stranglehold on the handheld market and their piece of like the underpowered market with their amazing IPs, and
Yeah.
then PlayStation has everything else. So where does that leave Xbox?
Yeah, I mean, I think that with Game Pass and it being able to even just be streamed, I mean, I play Game Pass on
Mm-hmm.
my Steam Deck. So there's like no reason for me to
Yeah.
even own an Xbox Series X. I haven't even bought one because I can play Game Pass streamed from my Steam Deck. and it's
That's
not
right.
even natively
Yeah, software
available.
as a service is where is what they do well. So
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So I mean, who's to say what Xbox is going to do with it in the future? You never know. But to
yeah.
me, it would be a interesting pivot because I did see that they opened up indie stuff to maybe try to stimulate their physical sales for indie games, which should be interesting. I
Uh,
don't see it.
I don't see it either. It's not going to save them.
No, no, it's gonna be too
Um,
little, too late. And honestly, like even for like us as a company, I don't even know if I want to pour the capital into it at this point.
yeah, yeah. Who knows? But yeah. As far as Microsoft is concerned, and you said pouring money into it. That's the bottom line. Is are they going to make their money back? I'm
Mm-hmm.
sure their R&D alone, they probably aren't close to even being in the green as far as this console generation. They're probably still recovering from last console generation. Um, I'm only speculating, of course, but given given how much it costs to develop new hardware, especially state of the art hardware nowadays, they just don't have the numbers to make up for it. Because you got to think like everyone's getting their piece. It's not like they're getting the entire, what is it, $400, $500? How much is an Xbox Series X now? I'm not even sure.
Sure, 400 or 500 bucks. I don't know.
Yeah, but I mean, the cost of the hardware, especially at launch, they were probably losing money on every sale. And you
Yeah.
got to think that even now that the hardware, the raw materials have gone down, they probably aren't even close to getting their money back.
To me, it feels like they're going to go the way of like a device. Plug in a little like
Hmm.
Roku adapter, or one of those adapters into your TV. Gives you a quick interface. You could probably also load it on smart TVs, and you can just play Xbox Game Pass.
Yeah,
Like,
sure.
I mean,
They do it
graphically
well.
graphically intensive games are going to be a pain. Those that are going to want 120 frames per second in 8K and all that stuff, it's going to be they ain't going to get it.
No, no.
So that's the interesting pivot is that they're not going to be able to compete with PlayStation at all,
Hmm.
but they'll compete with Nintendo for sure. So
Sure.
who's to say, man? Who's to say? It's going to be fun. Um,
But yeah, I mean, when their own spokesperson is saying that they can't compete with both Nintendo and Sony. Like I said, he's supposed to be the cheerful one. Well, he's being a realist, and people need to listen because that speaks volumes.
yeah, freaking ridiculousness. The other thing is we always do a little bit of premium edition updates. The biggest thing for premium edition is right now Bobby 67 is up for pre-order. Went up for pre-order a
Hmm.
couple days ago on Monday, and as of today, I haven't checked it to this evening, but as of this morning, we are under half of the silver editions left for the whole
Dang.
thing. The last time we only put up 50, and they saw immediately we put another 50. So we just did straight 100. That's all we're ever gonna do of these are 100. It's gonna be a limited thing, be a fun thing.
Hmm.
Once it's gone, it's gone. Make it a fun little chase item that we'll do, and then we'll do unlimited of the grays. Typically, we'll start with 500 total in the print run, and we'll do a second printing. But if there's demand, there's demand. I mean, we're not going
Yeah.
to cut off for a regular edition of one. And then Wife Quest is doing great. Super Dungeon Maker is doing amazing. We're all working on pieces of all the different stuff, like you mentioned, manuals and things like that. So,
Hmm.
pretty cool. And the other thing that went up was Phoenix Resale on YouTube posted an awesome video that he recorded of us at Midwest Gaming Classic, where he was a couple of our games were on his list, and he actually like traded games that he found at the convention to trade up to sell online, so he could buy our games. Um,
Nice.
it was wild. An interesting thing though is that we have affiliate links and stuff. So like certain people like Switch Watch, they'll post an affiliate link, and everybody who buys from their link, they get like a percentage. He didn't want to do that. He just wanted to support us. Like I asked him about the affiliate link. He's like, no, dude, I want to do this completely to support because I love what you guys do. So that was not like an affiliate thing. That was him doing a cool ass video. Really fun. He got a shit ton of games too. I forgot that he got that many.
Yeah, you got a stack of them.
He's like boom.
Even then, he wanted to get more. Just money.
Yeah, and I mean at MGC though, we had every single game in hand.
Every
the only time
single one.
The only time that's ever going to happen, because we sold out of a bunch of them. We kind of cleaned out the warehouse, the inventory for that convention. And so stuff like Phoenotopia, they're gone. Stuff like Demon's Tier Plus. Some of the stuff, there might be like a half a dozen copies out of 5,000.
Yeah, Blood Hockey, we were down to like 6 copies.
Yeah. So I mean, because the thing is like in the warehouse, like we'll always have extras for if something is damaged, but like we brought those extras now because it's been a while. It's very, very interesting and fun. So, should be cool. And then Eagle Island Twist, Love 3, They Bleed Pixels, and Raji are all in assembly right now. We've been going back and forth on some music CDs and stuff recently, so that's the newest thing. And outside of that, it's moving. I think the cartridges for Eagle Island Twist and Love 3 are arriving at the assembly plant, and then they just start putting it all together, and then we're going to be shipping out here in the next month. I'll probably be in Hawaii, getting some sun, and people will be getting their games.
How appropriate. Eagle Island. You're going to be on an island when it ships.
Eagling it up. Yeah, it's going to be cool, man. So P's doing great. I've been working on getting for Higgins Alley, getting the reviews for the NES, the complete NES book. And then I came up with a new idea for a book that I'm going to release hopefully soon. It's a crazy one. Something that I saw a different book at a store, and I'm like, I need a video game version of this. And I'm going
Very cool.
It's going to be awesome. I told Josh my idea. He's like, holy shit, I want that. I need that. And I'm like, yep. And I can do it for multiple.
You'll have to tell me offline. I'm curious, man.
Oh, yeah. It's going to be good. It's going to be great. So what else have you been up to, Tristan? Anything crazy with the book front? You got your Megatome working on that?
I'm still chipping away at the Megatome. I mean, I think I'm going to kickstart it. I wanted to have it completely done before going to Kickstarter, but I think I'm going to finish it up while it's the campaign is going on, and we'll kickstart that campaign in the next month or two. On the same note as you saying that you may have another book in your holster, I think I too have another book that I'm going to be presenting and publishing at some point.
Nice.
It's a collector guide for a specific set of games. And I think going forward, I may actually do it for other franchises. But I've already done one for a franchise. I did it 5 years ago. It just needs to be updated, and I think it'd be a pretty cool thing to have physically.
Yeah, it'd be cool. It's like if you do it in a certain format, and then you you match it so that way people can collect all your series in a row.
Yeah, I don't even think you've seen this one that I made, but it's actually a pretty cool format, and at the very end of it, I made it kind of an interactive collection kind of thing. I gamified it.
Nice.
So it's pretty neat. I may end up kickstarting that one in the future too. I'll have to run that one by you.
Oh yeah, that'll be cool. Yeah, you can never have enough cool ideas out there. That's gonna be fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, once I tell you
especially when I've already done all the work for it. I mean, it's just make it current.
Oh yeah, that's what I did with my NES book. It was great. I'm gonna have to do
Which, speaking of, I got part 2 or volume 2 part 2 in the mail. This past week. So I got to add that to my bookshelf, my Hagen's Alley collection.
Did you get the mini manual too?
I did. Yes, I did.
That mini manual. Previously I did a staple bound traditional manual. This time did it glue bound and foil and soft touch.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Made it badass. So yeah, it was really cool. It turned out great. Like
Mm-hmm.
the mini one is just a little fun treat, and people were just asking me if I did it, so I added it as a stretch goal, and it hit it. And so people were able to add it on for a couple bucks, and I think people will be impressed with it. I've seen some feedback that people love it, so pretty freaking cool, man. I've been working on year 3. It takes a while.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, with the move and
Everything takes a long time, but
Yep.
it's since it's fun, it makes it a little bit easier.
Yeah, I mean, basically, once I get the NES book in print, I'm gonna move over to because I'm working on a Switch one at the same time. I'll probably move over to finish up the Genesis book. I need to finish that sucker.
Mm-hmm.
It's big.
Yeah.
My NES book, by the way, is over 500 pages.
Very nice.
And it's still got to add in all the backer reviews, and some of them are going to be lengthy, and that's okay. I already told them, because that's where the meat comes in, is in the personal stories. So it's going to make it more fun. Yep. Ready to go to some bullshit homework, Tristan?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So the bullshit homework we were supposed to cover it last week, but internet connectivity issues. We were talking Trinity Trigger.
Yeah. I'll let you go first. I've got a few interesting takes on it. I'll just put it that way.
All right. So essentially, I wanted to try out Trinity Trigger because I thought it would be a pretty fun action RPG in the vein of like a Secret of Mana, something like that. From my perspective, I ended up playing it for a good bit, probably about 4 hours maybe or so. I thought it was pretty cool. It reminded me of a PSP RPG, like PlayStation Portable level. Graphics were pretty basic. I wanted to love it. I definitely did not dig it, and it was only one thing I didn't like, and I didn't go and grind, mind you. That might have changed things if I would have went and did enemy grinding.
Yeah.
But going to when I got to about the 3rd, 4th, whatever boss I was getting to, they're like the bosses are what I call grindy. You're just sitting there, rinse and repeat, and the enemies do this attack pattern and rinse and repeat. But you do it so many extra times that it's just like it was just annoying. And I got through like this one boss, and it was like it took me like 20 minutes of just nonstop attacking him. And then I went to the next town, back to the town. I unlocked a new ability thing with a girl with bunny ears or something. And then as soon as I went to the next spot, there's another damn boss fight. And this boss looks like it's going to take even longer. And you start right at the boss fight, so you can't even like go back and exit out and go back to the town and grind. So I was like, well,
Yeah.
I'm done. And it's still like I just unlocked something new, so I'm not even. To me, I don't even feel like I'm past like the tutorial intro 6 hours, 8 hours, however many hours it is for the tutorial, and I just couldn't get through that part. I don't know if there's like a damn ceiling, and then if you get past that, it opens up, it normalizes. I don't know. Or is this the game where it's just rinse, repeat, new story, new character, rinse, repeat? I'll let you go a little bit, and then we could talk a little bit of mechanics and stuff.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. And it's funny that you mentioned the PSP because that's what it felt like whenever I was playing it. I was like, it doesn't feel like because I bought it on PS5. Did you play it? Yeah, you played it on Switch. You've got your Switch kiosk, right?
I played it on Steam Deck.
Steam Deck. Okay. So I played it on PS5, and I mean, if you're playing it on Steam Deck, you're probably playing it on like maxed out settings. If they have settings, does it give you like a slider of graphical input or anything like that?
It does, but I honestly like this one. I just left it at whatever is default. I didn't mess with it.
Gotcha. Well, PS5, I didn't see any sort of like it's an RPG, so you're not gonna expect to see like 120 frames and 4K whatever. Like you said, it seemed like it was like a couple generations ago RPG graphically.
Yeah.
Um, but and the combat for me is where it fell apart because
Yeah.
what I see what they were trying to go with in trying to make it like Secret of Mana, but
Yeah.
Secret of Mana was kind of revolutionary at the time. But whenever you try and do that again with a modern game, it doesn't always work unless you like throw in the right sort of gimmick or mechanic, and this one didn't
It was
to me.
close. It was close. If they because like what annoyed me was the enemies would have this tell where shoot this big red arrow for a main attack,
Hmm.
and that if they would have had that for all attacks with the tell, it would have been at least playable for me. But they would do
True.
that, but then their normal attacks would just hit you, and there's no tell. And then I couldn't figure out immediately for each enemy like when they would hit you or not. So like I was
Hmm.
waiting for the tell, and then all of a sudden I get hit again, and I'm like, what? So I was just
Yeah, it's a
have
little
it or don't.
frustrating for
Either have it
sure.
or don't, man. I gotta.
I know.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I mean, aside from that, it was the combat that really fell apart for me, and that's when I'm playing an RPG or a JRPG or an action RPG or whatever. If the combat isn't solid and like captures my attention, then the whole game falls apart for me because that's supposed to be like the key thing in the game is the combat.
Yeah.
Story comes secondary. It just like gives you a reason to fight.
There's a lot of damn
Um,
story in this game.
yes, there is.
Completely
There really
voice
is.
acted, which was really cool. The
Hmm.
voices weren't annoying or anything. You had to animate shit, but it wasn't terrible. But completely voice acting. However, I couldn't give a shit less about the story if I can't
Yeah, I know.
play the
It
game
wasn't
well.
anything special.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. But the music was pretty good. Pretty
Yeah.
good. I actually really enjoyed the music. Um, for the actual retail packaging, no, you got it on Steam, so you got it digitally.
Hmm.
I actually purchased I don't even know what edition they called it. It's like day one edition for PS5, but it came in a really nice package. Art book, soundtrack, game, and bigger box, all for $50. I mean, like,
Not bad.
eh, yeah, really good value. I would say if you actually enjoy the game and plan on playing it throughout the whole thing. But no, yeah, yeah. It's overall it just kind of fell flat for me, and it's not a game that I would complete. Um, just like you, I put in about 3 or 4 hours, and that was enough for me.
Man, so are you going to return the game? I know you're not, but
Absolutely not.
like you're not gonna. That's the collector in you, but like you're not gonna go back to it. I'm likely gonna
No.
uninstall. Like it'll be uninstalled. Now I mentioned it.
Yeah, it's not going to take up hard drive space.
Yeah. I mentioned it with Coffin last week, but there was a game that I had stumbled upon because I was so disenfranchised by Trinity Trigger. I was playing some of my backlog games on
Hmm.
random because I have a randomizer on my Steam Deck. And there's this game. It's called The Secrets of Grindia. Popped up, and it's freaking awesome.
Yeah.
Um, Developers don't have a physical yet, so who's to say that premium won't do it? But that was what would have made Trinity Trigger better. Like if it would have been more like that game. That game is like a damn Link to the Past. It's perfect. So yeah, Secrets of Grind is a good one. I don't know if you heard of that game.
It's funny.
Yeah,
Yeah, I love whenever people make games that are, self-aware. I don't know if you ever played. There was this digital download. I think it was on PSP. But it was called um, DLC Quest.
Hmm.
Um, and every single ability that you get in the game, even moving right, you had to purchase.
Huh.
So from the very onset of the game, like you could only move left, you couldn't jump, you couldn't do anything. but you you know like you gather the money that you can, and then like buy the ability to move right, and then you can do more stuff. It was kind of a cool take, but it's very self-aware.
It's fun. Now this game, there's no grinding. It's just grindy is the name of the thing. Like it's, but
Grindy.
it was a
Okay.
Kickstarter, I think, or something. But it's action
Interesting.
RPG. Looks really cool. I play.
Gotcha. Okay, yeah, with a name like that I would have assumed.
No, yeah, no, it's a complete Zelda style game. Um,
Funny.
Really good one though. That one we should do in the future for bullshit homework after
Hmm.
we get done with Zelda Gate, because Zelda's about to be life, man. Yeah, I'm 100%. I'm 100% done with Trinity Trigger. It's now time for a Zelda, man.
Hmm.
Zelda
Yeah. Oh,
time.
I already moved on. The day that I got it from Amazon, I moved on.
Oh yeah. Um. So interestingly enough, I was out of town when Zelda was launched. So
Hmm.
I did my pre-order Friday. I left town Friday evening after my daughter got out of school. My pre-order showed up an hour after I left. So,
Jeez.
ironically, I learned from previous pre-orders when I order online. I ordered from two different sources. One of them, Best Buy, showed up on Monday.
Oh.
Yeah, so the one that did show up on time was Walmart, and I ended up getting a wall scroll with my pre-order. That was one of the ones that Coffin was talking about. I missed the
Hmm.
gold one, but I get a black one. It's cool. Put it away in storage and put it up later. So I ended up getting back home though Sunday in the evening. So I didn't get to play Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. I had to avoid spoilers and shit till Sunday.
Oh, that's the worst. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Now, we're recording Tuesday, so I've had essentially 2-ish days to play. Um,
Hmm.
18 hours. I have 18 hours in the game since Sunday. So Sunday,
Wow.
Monday, Tuesday. Um, so I have the Switch parental app. I don't know if you have that installed on yours.
I don't mind. No.
Yeah, so the Switch parental app shows you how many hours. It's very bright. But it shows you how many hours you play each day. So it shows that I put in 3.5 on Sunday, 7 hours on Monday, and almost 8 hours today already. So
Nice.
yeah,
Oh
um,
man.
yeah. So it just shows you. And it's a good little data tracker to see what you've been playing and what you've beaten and all that stuff. It's pretty fun.
So there were games in the past, like I mean, obviously not an action RPG like Zelda, but Fallout 3, and games that just are a huge time sink. I dedicated a whole lot of time to, and was playing basically every waking hour until I completed those games. But they're not games that my wife will sit down and watch me play. Those kinds of games.
Mm,
Zelda, however, she loves watching me play Zelda.
interesting.
So, um, and she's not a gamer in any stretch of the imagination. Um, but she loves watching me play those sorts of games that are just like, story engrossing and just exploration and
Yeah.
really cool. But
So, so I will say
it's
during this, when we talk about it, we're not going to spoil any of the story, but
new.
there will be spoiler territory on some of the mechanics and some of the other things.
Hmm.
There's something really big that Nintendo never talked about, huge, and they kept it under wraps. It's crazy that they kept it under wraps. And I'm not sure if you've even gotten to that part yet. How many hours have you put into it, Tristan?
Well, since I don't have I'm gonna have to guess.
Hmm.
I've probably got, yeah, you know what? Let me just text you offline. Just because I think I know what you're talking about, but it is kind of a spoiler talking about it.
Yeah.
Um,
The other way you can check your hours if you don't have the parental app is if you go to your own profile, it'll show you what you play in your game. It'll say X amount of hours or more. That'll be the other thing.
oh,
I have mine kind of disabled because what I don't want is another company to look at what games I'm testing. So mine don't show. But
hmm.
Oh, you're gonna message me. What did you message me on?
I just messaged you on Discord.
Okay. No. No. You mentioned yeah. No.
That's where I just got to. Just got to that.
Oh wow, you're really early.
Well, what I was gonna say is I have to slow play it because like I have
You're in the
me
tutorial
as a
area.
gamer. Me as a gamer, I can freaking like play games for days. But Natalie, not so much. So I don't want to play without her. So it's gonna be kind of a slow roll for me.
So you're still in the tutorial area. Like you've have you gotten down to Hyrule yet?
I have, yes.
Okay. So
Just barely, just
just barely.
barely.
Okay. So I'll keep that in mind as I talk about stuff. But I'm going to talk about some cool shit too. Let's talk about general overview, and then I'll go through and kind of go through line by line, so that way, and then we'll go into I'm beyond Tristan. But I'm going to try not to spoil anything major for you, Tristan, so that way you can still
I would
enjoy.
appreciate that.
Yeah. So to me, I was always saying that this was like Zelda nuts and bolts, but I feel like it is more like Zelda infused with Minecraft.
Yeah.
I really feel like it. Now I thought I was gonna hate it. I thought I was gonna hate the new abilities, the whole fuse mechanic, and the Ultra Hand, which is a cool thing to Nintendo's old toy. I thought I was gonna hate all that. It's like second nature. The tutorial areas that you're in, you like go to a shrine, get a new ability, learn how to use the new ability to get to the next shrine. The first two took me freaking forever. Like I struggle busting, but I was learning the mechanics. I was learning how to move around all the pieces, do all that crap. And interestingly enough, now I can like pretty quickly build things, simple things. I do feel like though we're all going to become like engineers after this damn game because like some of these shrines,
Man.
I never did this in Breath of the Wild, but some of these shrines I'm skipping, man. I'll get to it, I just can't figure it out, and I'm like, all right, let me back out. I'll come back because you can warp to them. Back out, and I'm gonna come back later and go do it. Freaking wild, dude. Yeah. So after that, though, using the Ascend ability where you can go through ceilings, that was pretty straightforward. The Rewind, really interesting, but they don't show you the true use of it, and I'm going to give some tips and tricks, too, on things. One that I haven't even used yet, so some couple of tips and tricks that I found out along the way. So what are your overall thoughts, though, going into this now up to where you are?
Yeah, so for anyone who played Breath of the Wild, you're instantly going to be able to jump into and play this one. But just like Jeff alluded to, you have all new abilities, which do have sort of a learning curve to know how to use them to their full potential. So yeah, I mean, dude, yeah, literally, like you're just thrown into this, and then you get all these abilities, and you're playing in a sandbox, so you
Yeah.
can do whatever you want and just like experiment.
Mm-hmm.
And you have enough freedom to go and explore, which is one of the coolest things about Zelda, and especially a Zelda of this scope. Um, it's kind of overwhelming at times because you're like, holy crap, there's so much out there. How the heck am I going to find everything? Especially to a completionist.
Oh yeah.
Holy hell! I'm actually kind of glad that Nintendo doesn't have a trophy
Oh,
system
once I
or
tell you
an achievement
the
system.
one little secret, man, completionist,
Uh
forget
oh.
about it. Forget about it.
Oh. Oh boy. Yeah,
Um,
but there's just so many secrets everywhere.
to get your
Um.
brain going, think Breath of the Wild is the original Zelda. Tears of the Kingdom is like Zelda Link to the Past sized.
Wow.
And I'm not talking about the
Like,
air.
incredible.
Not talking
Okay.
about the
Yeah.
sky.
Yeah.
Mm.
No, I
Um,
think I understand.
My
Dang.
recommendation for you, the way you're playing it, so Zelda Tears of the Kingdom 101, you're at the beginning, you're gonna wanna follow the story a little bit.
Mhm.
Getting to the first areas are going to give you a couple abilities. Because I was seeing people posting online that they can't find the damn sailcloth. Shit like that.
Yeah.
If you don't follow the story, you're not going to get some of the essential things you're going to need to play the game and unlock things. So you're going to want to play a little bit of the story before you start just completely running off.
That's actually helpful to hear because yeah, I'm one of those kinds of people, and I mentioned Fallout 3. This happened every single time in that
Yeah.
game. It'd be like, oh yeah, main story. Oh, something shiny over here. What's that?
I do a
And
little bit
and
of
it,
both.
it just
I do a little bit
kept
of
happening.
both. Yeah, I'll do a little
Yeah.
bit of shiny stuff, and then I'll do a little bit of story, and then when I go up and do something, I'll do a little bit of shiny stuff, and I find it, and then I'll
Yeah.
venture back. My recommendation for you, since you're doing a wife playthrough, do the story stuff with your wife, but then adventure off on your own, because otherwise you're never gonna get through it. Like adventure off. If you see something that
I know
might
what
be
you're saying, but I think she actually likes the adventuring more than she
oh
likes the story.
okay,
So
because if you
yeah.
get something that might be cool, you just pause it.
Mhm.
But that would be my recommendation, so you can keep making progress. But yeah, definitely do the story for a little bit. Explore around those grounds. Get used to it. That was one of the things that I didn't do, and then I went back to it. So I did the beginning area. You go like back to Hyrule Castle almost essentially right at the beginning, without any baddies there. There's people, because you won the game in Breath of the Wild. Pretty cool. And you get to explore around and see how it's changed and everything. Well, if you explore enough, there's some interesting things that happen. You learn a little bit about like tunneling systems and all this stuff, and you can get a lot of gear and things. So it's really cool. There's also characters you interact with that will start story modes that will unlock things later. And if you don't do it there, it won't start until you do it. So say you miss talking to a Rito guy, a bird, and he doesn't fly away, he doesn't start that, you may not be able to get the fairy fountains later.
Okay. Yeah.
And there's stuff that you'll have to do as you progress along your mission that's much easier if you do it at the beginning, because then the people will all be in place. Whereas they won't if you don't activate it. Just like finding the Hestu guy who does the maracas. If you don't find him along the story path early, you won't be able to get more capacity, so you can't get more swords and shields and bows.
Yeah.
So that's all going to be essential. Otherwise, you're going to have to like continually go back and grind and get new stuff as things break, because breakage is a thing.
Oh, I was gonna get to that. Oh man.
Breakage is a thing, man. However, reinforce. They want you to use that new ability to give added attack abilities, added things. Now, one thing that I've noticed with the break ability, I never used the arrows in Breath of the Wild, hardly at all. I used to use the bombs, but that was an ability. I use the arrows all the time in Tears of the Kingdom. I'm always using the arrows to jump into an attack, because you can easily add something to the arrow, such as a bomb and blow them up, or a bomb flower.
Yeah.
Or, which I didn't start using until like the last hour here after 17 hours in, the keys, the little bats?
Yeah. Yeah. Mhm.
So if you put a Keese eyeball, and like Ito did this on a Nintendo screen, you put a Keese eyeball on it, it actually homes in on the enemy.
What?
And it'll headshot him.
That's cool.
So I didn't even think about that until I was listening to the Nintendo Power podcast, which they recorded before the release. And I was like, oh shit, yes, you could do that. I remembered seeing him do that. So I did it. I was like, oh my god, I one-hitted like a guy, and it hit like it was
That's super
really
neat.
Yeah, and I had a ton of the Keese eyeballs because I was killing a ton of them running around. So yeah, very very needed. So what are your thoughts on the weapon breakage, Tristan?
It was. I'm not surprised that they kept it, but I was very hopeful that they would have diverted from that. I wasn't a fan of it in Breath of the Wild. I'm not a fan of it now.
Yeah.
I don't know. It seems like a distraction, and I know where they're coming from, because the game is part adventure, it's part survival, it's part battle. So like the survival portion of it, it fits right in. Um, if the game didn't have the crafting system and like the cooking system and the the fortifying your weapon system, then it would feel a whole lot different than than it otherwise would, and it would probably feel too easy. So I see where it comes in for like game balance, but it's still annoying.
Well, I think the main thing for Breath of the Wild was they did that so you didn't just get the most powerful weapons and never use anything else. You're forced to experiment because eventually, if you keep using that strong weapon, it's gonna break, right? So that's kind of it. Now you can reinforce. There was some rumor that you could reinforce after your weapon turns red and it'll fix it. That doesn't work for me, so I don't know if I'm just doing it wrong. But yeah. And the thing is, though, is that like this game, though, compared to Breath of the Wild, there's a lot more drops. There's a lot more weapons and a lot more arrows. So
yeah. I've never been in need for arrows, but at the beginning of the game, you're always fighting with a freaking stick. So
you'll quickly find enemies.
Yeah,
the enemies
I
are
know.
much more powerful in this game. So like once you take out one, you're gonna get a pretty good loadout. I do notice though that the bows are harder to find. So I found myself having to like warp somewhere to find because I ran out of bows in one area as I was going. Because once you go after like a strong enemy, you go through all your shit. You go through all your.
Dude, it's freaking bombs that I can never have enough of, and I just can't find that crap.
Yeah, there's bomb flowers. There's a lot of bomb flowers you'll find throughout. They're all strategically placed. Yeah, but like I use the arrows all the freaking time. That's my new priority though, fusing them with damn arrows. I brought that in here. Arrows fused. Hunting in Hyrule, aka progress. So the whole first area that you'll be in, the whole main Hyrule area in the middle, go around there and just hunt around. You'll make progress. Apparently there's some girl with like a little mushroom hat. I haven't found her yet. 18 hours. But if you find her, she'll give you some X's on the map apparently, and you'll be able to find some upgraded equipment for your gear equipment. So interesting things that will help you in your quest. I haven't found her yet. I've read people talking about her.
Nope, sure haven't. But I was going to ask you, and I'm sure you've done some exploring, so you found some like caves and caverns, yeah.
So let's talk about caves and caverns. So Nintendo kept this spoiler away, and so as soon as you do the story, right? So you're gonna go to Hyrule. You're gonna do the first tower, the new version of the tower. My recommendation, Tristan, is there's gonna be these big giant red holes you're gonna see on the map.
Yeah. Okay. I already know what you're talking about.
Jump down one.
Okay.
It is double the map.
Holy shit.
I can spoil anything that's down there. However, like I said, Link to the Past, man. Like I don't know how Nintendo didn't spoil it. Apparently all the dev review copies that went out, none of them had this in there. Because the sky is sparse. There's like a few islands here and there. It's very, it's not that big. It's not like there's a whole world up there. It's, I haven't seen shit yet either. And
that's incredible.
It is intense down there. Holy shit.
That's awesome.
And it is stressful. It is fucking crazy, dude. Like it's, I ain't gonna spoil anything beyond that, but I don't know how Nintendo didn't. Like on the
no,
Nintendo,
I mean I would have explored that eventually, so
well,
I don't feel that
you're gonna find it.
So.
But like, yeah, I went up to the tower thing. First time I went down into the hole, and I'm like, what the hell is this? And there was like pieces in there for a car. So I just built a car, whatever, and I'm going around, and I found something that, and Frank has been playing. I think he's streaming right now on Super RPG Friends. He's been playing like 30 hours or 40 hours, and he still hasn't found what I got. I got one of the new abilities. There's an ability. And this ability is a really cool one. Not going to really spoil anything, but something for for you to look out for. It's called auto build.
Mm.
So essentially, whenever you build anything, it keeps track of what you build, and you can get blueprints, and then you can.
Oh, sick! That is an amazing ability.
Yes, so be on the lookout for auto build. This is like, I want to give you like a master class on this is some cool shit that I found that you need to find this. And it is in that secret place that I don't. But to put things into perspective, Frank told me about the secret place or alluded to it, and he still hasn't found this. And I randomly came across it immediately. I got lucky. Now, if you're in that beginning area and you're talking to everyone, you will go down there. You will, on a mission, do that. So,
Gotcha.
So it will lead you there. It won't lead you to the auto build, though. So, but one thing to keep in mind when you get auto build, and they don't tell you this, if you don't, it'll go through and it saves every single combination of everything you make in Ultra Hand. What you're going to want to do, they don't tell you this, once you make your vehicle or something really cool, you got to favorite it. You can add it to your favorites. If you don't do that, it disappears. So I had some badass contraption. I made it disappear on me, and I'm like, what happened to it? And I'm like, crap, you have to favorite it. So I have a few cool things now that I have favorited. But yeah. And let's see. So I've just been randomly going around looking at stuff. There's a new version of the memories in the game that you'll come across early on in the story. And early on, I just saw it at like 15, 16 hours in, early on. But essentially, you start seeing more and more of the story, which unveils things. I think that's like a way to get toward the Master Sword or something. So that's something important to do. And then, let's see. There's one other thing you need to do that will keep things moving along, and that's the one that I alluded to about the Great Fairy Fountains. You're basically going to be an investigative reporter.
Huh.
And what's cool about it is you'll do it and you'll start interacting with NPCs, but then eventually you'll go on these little quests to do it. So you'll go like investigate an area, and then all of a sudden this other character takes you on this giant quest. And I was on like whitewater rafting, almost like Link's Awakening, like going, and it was like really cool. And I got to the next area, and I'm like, oh, cool. This is a little lead in from Breath of the Wild, and I was like, it's pretty cool. Like and this is a side quest, optional stuff. That's just, but that I'm tracking that may give you clues to where the fairy fountains are, and I haven't found them yet. So I think they don't unlock unless you do that stuff, which wasn't like that in Breath of the Wild. Now,
no, it wasn't.
Yeah. Now where I am, because you're near the beginning still, like of just getting out of the tutorial area. I am now. I decided to go along the story, and I am going. I finally made it to the first temple.
Oh.
And there are dungeons.
Oh, good.
Yes.
Good to hear.
The thing was, though, it was like a damn temple dungeon getting to it. It was ridiculous. Like, it took me an hour or two. Like, I was just doing all this crazy stuff, and like it was intense. And it seems like every single little piece to get up to it, even to get up to the temple area, to move up to the temple area, was like an adventure. Like, you had to get a character that was outside of a cave, and then you go in there, oh, the character moved out, and you go through this cave, but the cave took 30 minutes to maneuver through, and you're collecting stuff as you do it. Like, every little piece is like an adventure and an experience, and I think that's where Tears of the Kingdom is like doing it right, is that you can just go through, play a little bit, and have like a really fun experience, and you do it your own way. Yeah, I'm just trying to unveil a few things so that way, like, all right, go do this, do that. Let's see, anything else that's non-spoilery? Because I don't want to spoil anything, but like...
No, well, so they brought back... I mean, Breath of the Wild, every once in a while, a blood moon would come out.
Yes.
And that's actually literally where I am right now. I have the game paused. and a blood moon came out. I'm like, oh, cool, they brought it back, and a whole bunch of powerful enemies came out. So I'm about to fight some people. That's where I currently am, is in a blood moon.
Yeah, I've seen 3, 4 of them or something because you see them all the time. Come out every
Yeah. It's every so often.
yeah. And I don't know if they come out more powerful. I know they're powerful during the blood moon, but like I do know it respawns everyone.
Yep, exactly.
So
Yeah,
some
because
of
it even says that it's like the spirits are back from the dead or something like that. Restless
so
spirits.
some of the new enemies that I've dug so far that I found, they brought back likes.
Yeah.
The big old guys that suck in your shields.
Yeah, they're freaking creepy too.
Mm-hmm. I did find one. I don't know where it was. Maybe it was under Hyrule Castle. I did find one and it had a giant shield in it, like one of the big night ones from Breath of the Wild.
Oh,
So
dang.
that was
Very nice.
It took me a while to kill that bastard too, but they're not hard. You just got to make sure you don't get hit.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, I got one of those. And then the other one, I've seen them. They kicked my ass. The Gleeok is back.
Gleeok. I gotta look that one up. I'm not
dragon.
sure. Ah, very
They're
cool.
Freaking
Yeah.
huge. They're gigantic dragons.
That's sick.
So I saw one. I was floating down. I saw it in the Coliseum. I went down there, and it's like where the old Lionel was in Breath of the Wild, and it's in there. It is a lightning Gleeok.
I remember fighting that Lionel.
Yeah, so there's a lightning Gleeok in there, and I went down there, shot it with an arrow. That fucker came up and killed me 1 second. I'm like,
yes.
And then I was going across. There was a Hylian bridge, and I saw a fire Gleeok over there, and I was like, not even going near it. Hell no.
Yeah.
Hell no. And then when I was going toward the first temple, I saw one flying around, and it was an ice Gleeok. So there's multiple versions.
That's cool. That's really cool. I'm glad that they did that, and it's not just vanilla Gleeok, and that's it.
No, yeah.
It's pretty cool that they give him an elemental.
Haven't seen a Lionel yet in 18 hours. Haven't seen a Lionel. I saw a couple Hinoxes, the ones with the big old eye. They're still as dumb as ever, easy. They have the big, so you have the little Boko Goblin guys. They have giant ones now too. Little friends, little giant ones.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. But yeah, it's there's a lot of same characters, and then there's some new ones. There's some monkey-looking things that are pretty cool. They're pretty awesome.
There's that spirit frog, if you know what I'm talking about. I'm still waiting to see what those things do that you get from them.
Yeah, you find them in caves. What I've read, and I'm saying in-game reading, because I read all the little stuff to try to get the lore. I think it's going to be something similar to when you collect the spirits and you find the one guy at night. Sometimes, I think there's going to be somebody who wants to collect those. So you collect them, and then somebody will sell them to you.
I figured, and you'll get some sort of upgrade to your inventory or something.
I got another one for you. So you need to, as you hunt down all of the weaponry stuff, like the new Zona stuff, right? As you get all those cores and everything, you need to find a refinery. Every 100 of the diamonds, the Triforces, the little triangles.
Yeah, I've got 9 of those guys so far.
So every 100, you get 1 ounce of battery.
Wow.
So you need to do some grinding. Because I think you have to do 3 of the cores to get 1 triangle, I think. Or is it?
Oh, yeah, you're exactly right. It's 3 to 1. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a 3 to 1 ratio. I don't know if it's the cores or it's the actual. I think it's the. Ore.
It's the raw material. It's the raw material for them. Yeah.
Now in that area that shall not be named, there's a ton down there. So that's okay. The place.
Gotcha.
I haven't found.
Yeah, and they even say that in game that that's where it originates from.
Yeah. So. But I've upgraded 1 so far, but that's 1 piece. And then, so right now I think I have 7 hearts, and I've done 1 extra stamina bar, or 1 stamina vessel. So,
yeah, I've got a long way to go.
Yeah, and I mean, I've done a lot of shrines, so I went off. So yesterday, I went swimming and I went running, went swimming, did all this stuff before I played. And then our friend Shannon took me out because my wife did her surgery. I was playing Zelda while I was doing it. Found a boss battle, and secret boss battle. And then came back and she wanted to go to get margaritas while Andrea was recovering. So we went and got margaritas. So I was wandering around Hyrule like a little bit buzzed. That was fun. So just grinding.
So hey, my brother's name is actually Shannon.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway.
That's awesome. But yeah, so I was just running around Hyrule yesterday, just finding stuff, getting into trouble.
Dude, it's so much fun. It's man, like a game like that, and this game doesn't disappoint. It's Zelda. I mean, like, there's no way that Nintendo's going to allow it to disappoint. Although, I look back at what's the one with the freaking wolf? Twilight Princess? Yeah, I didn't like that one.
I didn't like Skyward Sword.
I actually really like that one.
The waggle.
Yeah, but nowadays it's such a huge thing for a Zelda game to come out. They weren't gonna mess this one up, and they didn't mess this one up. They hit a home run like they always do.
Well, I kind of thought that I was gonna not like it as much as Breath of the Wild simply because of the Ultra Hand mechanic. I figured they were gonna overuse it, and they don't. Once you get past the tutorial area and opens up the game, you can kind of play it your own way.
Yeah. Oh, and that's what's so good about it. I mean, they give you so many ways to play it.
And so, like, you don't have to, like, build stuff all the time if you don't want to. You can mess around with it. And honestly, like, I build super basic things because I don't want to make it complicated, and it works pretty well.
Yeah.
Works pretty well. So one thing that I've been told, and I haven't been able to mess around with it yet, but I've been told, this has been a secret, and this is something that Frank was telling me about. He said that if you take the Ultra Hand and say you have a platform, right? Big old long platform. And you grab it, you bring it out, and you rotate it, right? And then you rotate it back. And then you hit your rewind button, that platform will move.
Oh.
So you can get across long crevices that way.
Well, that's kind of cool.
You might be able to hold on to a beam, and it'll transport you across something. The other thing you can do is you can put it like a pole in the middle of the air near an enemy, rotate it around, then hit rewind, and as it rotates around, apparently it builds momentum and will kill enemies very fast.
That's cool.
It's like broken OP or something is what Frank called it or something. So I was like, I need to start messing around with that just to have fun and see if I can manipulate it, because I really have not messed with rewind hardly at all.
I'm gonna leave the creative, crazy stuff to the speedrunners. I'm very much looking forward to the first time that they stream Tears of the Kingdom at GDQ.
Yeah.
Because that'll be super, super cool to watch. Just how
people
broken.
Are beating it in 90 minutes already.
That's what I'm saying, man. Like, these guys are crazy. Like, exploiting like all this crazy stuff.
I don't know, man.
Awesome.
I know I saw something that Frank shared with me, where somebody created a whole mech suit in Tears of the Kingdom, and they're just walking around Hyrule, crushing and destroying everything. And I'm like, they're using stuff that I haven't even unlocked yet. But like, because I mean, there'll be stuff you get, the Zone Eye stuff. There'll be stuff like flamethrowers or lasers. I just got a remote bomb, which was interesting. I got to a spot when I was going to the first temple, and they had these hot air balloons. And if you take fire to the hot air balloon, it goes upward. I put some remote bombs on there. I'm like, maybe I can use the remote bomb and like knock it off, hit an enemy or something. So as soon as I hit it, everything activated, and the bombs exploded and destroyed me. Blew me up. Blew a million pieces.
Yeah, that'll happen.
I was like, son of a... But it was like really funny. Really funny. Didn't kill me, though. I had everything but one heart left. Now here's a question, Tristan. So you went through the tutorial area. Did you get the shirt and the pants?
Pants, yes. Shirt, no. I'm shirtless still.
You didn't find a shirt. So there's a shirt in the tutorial area. Did you find the second pair of pants?
No, no.
There's a
Okay. So I have pants that allow me to have low level cold.
okay.
Yeah,
So you
those are
found
the pants I've got.
so there's a pair of pants at the beginning that are just regular pants too.
Oh, yeah, I didn't know.
Yeah. So yeah, there's people
I
running
was just
around
running around
shirtless.
naked.
Yeah, there's people running around shirtless. Um, Now those, I mean, those are free. Those are in the beginning area. So those would be easy. The actual cold one though, those are the ones you want because
Yeah.
you can buy like the Hillian stuff near in the first area, so you'll be able to buy those
Sure.
relatively cheap. I got to Kakariko Village, and I think the crap is like 5,000 rubies each. Um,
Dang.
but it's a story, and I think the mom's sick or something, so I haven't done that yet. So I'm not buying the crap for 5,000 because there's like the ninja suit, and there's a new suit over there too. But yeah, I've gotten some cool stuff with the reporter one. Apparently, I looked at it, and there's a frog suit. But what the frog suit does is don't slip in the rain when you're climbing.
Oh, that's useful.
So that is something that I'm going to make a priority. I want to get the damn
Hmm.
frog suit because I want to be able to climb around in the rain. Um,
Yeah.
I've noticed that it's not as bad as Breath of the Wild, the rain, but it does rain a lot still.
Okay.
Um,
It hasn't rained on me yet, so interesting.
mm. But what I do like though is that if I'm just exploring around and it starts raining, I'll warp somewhere and maybe in a different area in the map it's not raining because I think the rain is like geographical on the map, so you just go somewhere else where it's not raining.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah. So I've been using the warps a lot more. I mean, this is all with Breath of the Wild knowledge intact, so
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
much
Yeah.
more fun. Not necessary, but much more fun knowing Breath of the Wild and going in to Tears of the Kingdom.
Hmm.
Um, the other thing is that you'll see some crop circles when you're in the air. Those mean something.
Yeah. If anything looks out of place, and you play enough games,
Yeah.
you're conditioned to be like, oh, what's over there?
Hmm.
Just, the dev could hide something over there. I mean, yeah. So every nook and cranny, dude. Like,
How
you
many
just can't
Koroks
help
have you
it.
saved?
Oh, probably about a dozen so far.
Nice. Have you
Yeah.
messed with the Koroks yet?
Oh, no, I have not.
Because the big ones with the backpacks, they got taken to their friend. They give you two. Um,
Uh-huh.
you can attach shit to them.
Oh, what?
So I mean, because essentially you got to get them to their friend. So you
Yeah.
attach. So if you attach like a rocket to them, attach a bomb to
Yeah,
them.
I think I put that particular one in a mine cart and then just attached a fan to the mine cart.
Yeah, there's a ton of them throughout. One thing that
Hmm.
I've liked is like when you're on the overworld, I've noticed like when I get to those guys and they're like, "Take me to my friend," and then they're like, "Go to the blowing smoke." So you take them there, you figure it out however you want to do it. There's usually like a shrine over there. So then I
Yeah.
get like two Korok seeds, and then I get a shrine, and I get a teleport. But like, because that was the hardest part for me in Breath of the Wild was finding the shrines. Like a lot of those shrines were hidden pretty damn well. Um,
Yeah, and I mean it's been a long time since I played it, but didn't you have like some sort of like compass or something like that that kind of like led you to like general direction of where the shrine was or
in theory, but I think you could also attach an item to it. And I think I always
Hmm.
had treasure chest on it, and so I never had the shrines ever again.
Oh, I see. I see.
And so I was all jacked up. And so, so I just never found, I had trouble finding shrines. I think I even
Hmm.
resorted to a guide eventually in Breath of the
Man, I want to
Wild.
play that. I want to play some more right now.
With Breath of the Wild or Tears?
Heck yeah. No, no, Tears of the
Oh,
Kingdom,
we're
man.
about to, man. As soon as we
I'm
finish
like
up here,
itching.
I mean, I'm going back. It's right here, man. Um,
It's right on the other side of this wall.
yeah, exactly. Now, the thing is that if I pause, I can't pause. I was gonna go over my stats, but how many shrines I've beaten and shit. I'm actually in story right now in the temple, so as soon as it continues,
Oh,
um, I'm tracking that once you beat temples, there's a different thing. So in Breath of the Wild, when you beat a temple or you beat a beast, right? Um, you would get an ability.
Mm-hmm.
This time, I think it's different. I think you get like something completely new. We'll talk about it in the next episode because I haven't gotten it yet, and if it's what I think it's going to be, I'm probably going to go through and continue the story a little bit more so I can become overpowered. So I think it's going to make the game much more approachable.
Cool.
Going through a couple. So it'll be interesting to see. Yeah, I just feel like the game plays great.
Mm-hmm. I'm very happy with this game.
Yeah, like I was going in timid because I was like, man, Zelda nuts and bolts. I don't want to make shit. Like I just want to play Zelda. I just want to play my Zelda, go around, and you can. That's the best part. I haven't really used the Ultra Hand too much. Get a hair at my butt, I'll make something, and it's kind of fun. It's a fun little gimmick. Yeah. It's not part of the game for me. There's spots where you have a sign. There's a guy who's holding up a sign. If you help him balance the sign, you get a bunch of bonus goodies, by the way.
Cool.
So it's like a little puzzle. So it's like, hold up my sign, and you hold up or you can drop it, and he drops it, and if it doesn't fall, he'll give you some goodies. They're all over the place. Like, there's stuff like that. That kind of stuff is what makes it really fun. It's like the little tangential side quest that makes it really fun just to delve into the world of Zelda. Like, really, really loved it. So far, man, this is game of the year. Like, no doubt.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough to beat.
I mean, Breath of the Wild is my favorite game, my top #1 game on Switch. Crazy is like Tears is right there. Like, it's good. We'll see once I go through it all. Like, if it stays. Right now, I mean, heck, I want to see how it all connects to the big bad in the game too.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh man, that thing's creepy too. Creepy.
Yeah.
Woo!
I mean, we've seen the pictures.
Eyeballs.
We've seen the pictures of Sexy Ganon, so I mean, I'm assuming that it's got to be Sexy Ganondorf is going to be your bad guy. I wonder what the twists are.
Yeah.
There's something going on that there's going to be a twist. They got to do a twist, and it's going to be interesting because as you see the story unfold, they unlock little nuggets of the story, and it's also cool to see some of the characters that they've grown up, how things have changed since Breath of the Wild. It is a direct sequel. Stuff is similar but different to Breath of the Wild. So when you go to new areas, there'll be like little things that are the same, and there's a lot of stuff that's changed. Yeah. And they allude to things like the old places that you need to go to. I haven't even been to them yet. I got to, Kakariko, but I haven't went to the other... What was the other village in Breath of the Wild where it had, like, all of the tech stuff? Hattoneo Village or some shit? Haven't been there.
I played it whenever it first came out and never picked it up again, so my memory's very hazy.
Yeah. I mean, the classic Breath of the Wild, I played through a game, and I was going through the DLC, and I, like, deleted my save, so I just had to restart. So, my goal was to replay on Steam Deck on the Wii U version with no weapon breakage and beat the whole game, and I think I got, like, through one beast, maybe two beasts. So I never beat Breath of the Wild the second time. But it was a good appetizer for Tears of the Kingdom. I'm just gonna continue down Tears until the wheels fall off. Literally off of my Ultra Hand abilities.
Yeah. So good. Overall, I absolutely plan on continuing playing it, and I think we should continue it being our homework at least for a couple more weeks.
I mean, it's going to be homework until we're both thoroughly satisfied.
Yeah, I've only scratched the surface.
Yeah, I mean, and the thing is that even if you go and, like, beat the game, I think you can continue playing, and so you don't beat it technically. So I think you can keep playing it for a while. So I'm gonna get to a point where I just want to run around and explore, and this is the type of game that I would 100%.
Yeah.
I haven't seen them mention anything about any DLC yet.
You know it's coming. You know it's planned. There's too
Yeah,
much money to be had.
yeah. So a couple of the secrets that are there. Apparently, if you have a Breath of the Wild save, you can get your old horses.
Yeah, heard that.
Um, I don't have an old Breath of the Wild save with any horses, so I didn't get one.
I'm
Because
sure I do, but it's on my other Switch. So I actually bought the Tears of the Kingdom OLED, and that's the one I'm playing it on right now. I didn't transfer any other data over from my other Switch, so
oh,
oh
I
well.
haven't transferred over my data yet either. Maybe if I transfer over my data, maybe
Yeah,
then it will
I
show
bet you.
up. I'm gonna try that. I'll mess around with that because I haven't tried that yet. But yeah, that'll be interesting to see if. Now I'm thinking. See, like, do I move over all my shit? Yeah, so that'll be cool. Maybe I do have a Pona. I don't know because right now I caught a horse and I have one in the stable. It's called Brownie. That's what London named him, Brownie.
Nice.
Yeah. So that's one thing, and then apparently every amiibo unlocks something.
Oh snap!
So you might want
I
to do
haven't
some
tried them yet.
amiibo. All my amiibos are in storage, so I got nothing. I have the Tears of the Kingdom one sitting at Best Buy, so tomorrow I need to go to Best Buy and pick it up.
Hmm.
Take back the Best Buy copy of Tears of the Kingdom since I don't need it. And then I ordered on Amazon or eBay, I can't remember. They have a whole card set you can get, amiibo card
Oh
set.
yeah, yeah.
So,
It's so convenient, man.
so I did that. I have one I had for Breath of the Wild for the same thing, but it's in storage. I don't know where it's at, so I'm just going to. I bought a new one. I should have it this week, and then I'll start doing my daily swipes if I need to. I think
cool.
you get like, I don't know, like some kind of cloth or something. I think you can do some like dye cloths or something somewhere. I don't know what that is, but and then after you get all that stuff, because you can get like sets from the Zelda ones, so you can get like a Majora's Mask set, Fierce Deity
Yeah.
set, and
Yeah, and
actually,
it's if they did it like Breath of the Wild, it's random drops depending on what amiibo you swipe, right?
hmm
Is that how it was?
that's how it was with Breath of the Wild. I am
Yeah.
also tracking though this time. They actually have stat bonuses,
Ooh,
so they're a little more useful, and
okay.
they look cooler this time too. So I'll probably be messing around with those too once I get them. I don't know what the Tears of the Kingdom one does. I've kind of not. I've been trying to avoid looking at guides and things. So I mean,
Yeah.
I'll see some shit in Facebook or a post or something. That's where I get a little bit of the intel from. But I'm trying to do everything in game with messages. Try to get the lore from the people in the game. So most of the stuff that I'm talking about, I've gotten from within the game, like the little hat person. I found a cave and they mentioned a little hat. They mentioned this girl's name, and she has like a little mushroom hat.
Yeah.
And so she's around. And did you in the beginning area, Tristan? Did you fight the little mini boss, the giant block mini boss?
That's gonna be a no.
Okay. So there's a giant
Huh.
block mini boss in the beginning area, and essentially you use
Okay.
Ultra Hand against them and fight them, and he can one hit you. Well, later on, when you find more of the giant stone block mini bosses, they drop maps, and the maps
Cool.
lead you to do treasures. I don't know what the treasures are. I just got one and had an X now on my map somewhere. So I was
That's
like,
awesome.
ooh, I'm gonna have to go find that. So maybe that's what I'll do tonight after, if I get frustrated with the dungeon because I just drank tequila. Maybe I'll jump into the map and go find that. But apparently the little hat girl will give you X's too on the map, and you can find her everywhere in the world. So I gotta try to find
Cool.
her because I want to find all of the things. This is the type of game, because I'm OCD with bookmaking and everything. This is the kind of game where I want to experience as much as I possibly can while I'm still excited about it.
Absolutely.
'Cause that's only gonna last so long, and then time's gonna run out, and then it's gonna be, and we have to move on, and I don't want to move on.
That's
Never
why
move
people
on.
love the Zelda games so much.
Exactly. Um, yeah. So definitely continuing. I mean, probably right after we finish recording. And I gotta make sure I edit
Same.
tomorrow. I gotta edit this video to get it out. Any
Jeff, you
closing?
know what hasn't happened this entire stream?
Mm,
I have not dropped off. I mean, I had that little hiccup,
it built
but I haven't
up.
dropped off.
Yeah, yeah, we're good. We're good. So this has been a good test. So it looks like you can take over next week.
Hmm.
Hopefully you can take over with this whole, design that we have here on YouTube. But if not, we'll just do a Skype call. I'm going to be on a phone from here on out until I get to Hawaii. So until I'm set up in Hawaii. And I don't know what my setup's going to be like yet. Because I'm not going to have a house till July. So I got 2 months till I have a house. I'll
Yikes.
be in an apartment, or not apartment, but a hotel. I'll be in basically a hotel for at least first month and a half. When I get my house, then we'll have to set up. So it'll be some time before we're back settled. But I can just sit on the beach and record, talk video games while I'm sitting outside having a tiki mai tai or something.
And I'll have to get a green screen so I can pretend like I'm on the beach.
Oh yeah. It's gonna be fun though, man. So let's close things up. So any closing thoughts with Tears of the Kingdom?
No, I think I've covered everything, all of my thoughts so far. I'm just excited to see what else there is because, like I said, I've only scratched the surface. You've been exploring a little bit more than I have, um, but it's such a joy to play. It's not a grind. It's not a chore. It's not. It doesn't feel like homework. I think that's the perfect way to sum it up.
Yeah, no, it's a really well done game. Play it anyway. And what I like is it's completely the Nintendo style. Like it's like they give you all the tools
Hmm.
and you just experience it. It's open world sandbox essentially.
Yeah.
And if you want to go on the story, go on the story. If you want to just adventure around, adventure around. And the coolest thing
One
is
thing that.
you're always
Oh, go ahead.
making progression. You're always making progress.
Yeah. Yeah. Whether you're doing side stuff or not. One thing that Nintendo has consistently been able to do with this franchise ever since the very beginning is give you that sense of exploration. Like even whenever it was just the simple map, um, uh, like there were places to bomb, secrets to find, items to get, to unlock other places that you can go. It was an adventure on a scale that had never been seen before. And the fact that Nintendo and Miyamoto have been able to continue this, 30 years, almost 30 years later. No, more than that. Yeah, I can't math. Over 30 years later, is just astounding. They've consistently been able to raise the bar, and it's no different with this title. Even though it's a continuation of another reimagining, it doesn't feel stale.
No, it's wild and like so one thing we'll talk about in a future episode is, and this is something to get the community thinking about in Discord and and the chat when people come on. And as we record, we're gonna change up our thing so we don't have the live chat on the side and everything.
Hmm.
But where does Nintendo go next? That's going to be the talk for a future episode because
And
that's the thing. Or
that's what's so crazy about Miyamoto and like all these other just wonderful people at Nintendo. How did they keep doing this? They keep giving us all this stuff that we don't know that we want. Um, but once it's out there, we're like, holy crap! How has this not been a thing before? They're just so good at it.
Yeah, I mean, and it'll be an interesting talk, like what's next for the Zelda series. Maybe that'll be a talk in the next episode. as we're playing Tears, we can kind of think about like, all right, what's next for Zelda. So that's what we'll talk about
Yeah, because
next episode.
I honestly don't think that they can, keep the next main installment Zelda game is I I don't think it will be a continuation of the same graphical engine and story.
Save it.
It's going to be another reimagining.
Save it for next episode, Tristan.
Yep, saving
I
it, saving
mean,
it.
because like there's some theories, and I will dig into what ifs and situations, and let's just
Yeah,
go deep down the rabbit hole. Because I feel like that'll be a fun one, and we'll have more Zelda Tears of the Kingdom to talk about.
yeah,
Craziness.
good
We'll
stuff.
go into a little bit more details on mechanics and how to manipulate in the air. There's ways to manipulate yourself in order to traverse Hyrule that we haven't even talked about. We haven't even scratched the surface or the air, mind you.
Yeah.
So where can people get in touch with you, Tristan?
Mainly on Facebook and Discord. Twitter, I've got a Twitter account. It's VG Console at VG Console Guide, but I don't really check those and update it as much as I probably should. So if you want to really get a hold of me, get a hold of me on Facebook, Tristan Ibarra, Ibarra.
Ibarra.
Yeah, that's me. And then I've got my book that I wrote on the console guide that's available at premiumeditiongames.com, as well as all of our amazing games that we make and continue to make. Please go check those out. Yeah.
So for me, I'm over on Facebook, the Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, all the things. I post primarily on Facebook and Twitter. I think Instagram gets an auto post, but I might, because I had to recreate my Facebook. Instagram has like 2 followers or something. I don't even know how to with it. But our Discord is live. We need to get better about posting some reactions in there in the bullshit homework. It's gonna be all
Yeah.
talk. Maybe I'll
Yeah,
post
I'm
some
bad
pictures.
about it. I haven't done it
Me
once.
too. Me too. I've done it a few. But we have a couple of listeners that are in there talking now.
Okay,
one
cool.
post
Yeah,
that they're
I'll
there.
be
So,
cognizant of that.
so we definitely want to interact with you. So post in there so we post. That'll be the thing for you listening. And we had to make it a good habit just to post in there because usually it's much easier. I've been taking some awesome screenshots as I play, so I can probably just take a picture of the screenshot or something and post it in Discord. But I haven't seen anything super crazy yet in Tears. But yeah, so hit us up in Discord. And make sure you join us when we do these lives. Join us. The live chat will pop up. I know we did like kind of without any planning this time. Like, hey, we'll just go up live. We have mini chat. But normally we could have a what we'll have too, Tristan, is you can build your picture of what we're going to talk about, and we can just have that on the left side.
Yeah, we'll do that from here on out. We're kind of in a transition period where Jeff is moving and we've got a lot of things going on. But once we settle down a little bit, we'll be a little bit more structured and user friendly for you guys.
Well, and the thing is, we likely won't be live because if I'm in Hawaii, right now it's like what 6 p.m. No, it's like 4 p.m. right now.
Yeah.
So it's like 4 p.m. there, and I'll still be at work on a Tuesday.
Yeah.
So
So he wouldn't be able to stream for another 3 hours, which means that I wouldn't be able to start streaming until midnight my time.
Yeah, and so we decided we're probably gonna record probably on a Sunday and then upload, and then everybody can like comment in the live chat on YouTube as we do a like reveal. So I did a couple of those last week where I did like the watch alongs. And we have a small subscriber count, so anybody who wants to chat with us, we'll chat with you. If you're there, like we'll chat. If we miss the live, we'll chat later. I can watch it and chat. So it'll be fun, and as we grow, we'll all grow together. It's a fun time, and video game bullshit is here, man.
Yeah.
So thanks everybody for listening, and we will see you next time.
Later.
Later.